In New Jersey, Ray comes home from a shift at the docks. His ex-wife Mary drops their kids at his house so Ray can watch over them while she visits her parents in Boston. Rachel says hi to her dad, but Robbie completely ignores him. Later in the news, they talk about Ukraine being in almost total darkness because of freakish lightning storms that have hit the country in the middle of the night. Apparently some electromagnetic pulses have interrupted all electrical currents, which was followed by an earthquake. Ray convinces Robbie to play some baseball, but the boy keeps calling him by his name instead of dad and repeating how much he hates coming here. A frustrated Ray ends up throwing the baseball through a window and Robbie returns to his room. Rachel tries to give her dad some advice, but he decides to take a nap instead. A few hours later Ray wakes up to discover Rachel has ordered food to feed herself. Ray eats that food while calling Robbie, who doesn't answer. Rachel reveals that he took Ray's car and left. A desperate Ray leaves the house to confirm his garage is empty, but he's distracted by all the people in the street looking at the sky. He does the same and is shocked to see a huge and dark storm cloud. Soon the wind starts blowing pretty hard and Ray realizes it's going toward the storm, which doesn't make sense. Suddenly the wind stops and lightning begins flashing in the cloud without making any noise. Ray thinks it's fun, but Rachel is scared, so they rush back inside. Lightning keeps striking the same spots over and over, which causes Ray to worry too, so they end up hiding under the table. After a few minutes the lightning stops and Ray checks the house. Power is out in the whole building, but even machines that need no electricity like the landline phone and his watch aren't working. He rushes outside and discovers that all the cars have stopped working too. Robbie is nearby feeling lost, so Ray tells him to go home and stay with his sister while he investigates. When Ray walks near a garage, his mechanic friend tells him the car starters are fried even though they weren't near the lightning. Then he joins a crowd near the church to look at a hole in the street caused by the lightning strikes. Ray grabs a piece of rubble and is surprised by its coldness. Suddenly rumbling can be heard underground and everyone steps back as the cracks begin to appear all over the street. They start destroying the buildings and cars in the area, and when the street cracks open the church is torn apart. A spot on the street moves in a circular motion for a second before sinking, creating a pit that cars fall into. People run away in panic when the hole spits a car back. Then huge tripod legs emerge from the hole and crush the car Ray is hiding behind, but he dodges just in time. A giant machine soon emerges, revealing to be an alien robot. After letting out a loud noise, it opens fire at the crowd, killing people as they try to escape. Even those trying to get away in cars are hit by the rays. Ray tries hiding inside a store, yet the killing beams even reach inside, not to mention the cars being thrown through the windows. After lots of running, Ray manages to leave and goes down the road while buildings keep crumbling behind him. He hides behind a wall and watches the tripod walk away. Now he can go home, but he's in such a shocked state that he doesn't know what to tell his kids. He washes up and finally snaps out of it. Ray announces they're leaving and orders his kids to start packing. Before they leave, he makes sure to grab his gun. On the street, lots of people are trying to leave town. Ray puts his children in a car that the mechanic finally managed to fix and asks him to come, but the mechanic refuses. While they argue, the tripod blasts away behind them and starts a fire. Ray takes off with his family and the mechanic is killed by the laser beam. As they race through the streets, Ray makes his kids stay hidden. Buildings and vehicles continue to explode behind them, destroying the whole town. When the car reaches the highway, there isn't much room to go through because dozens of vehicles have stopped working and big crowds are escaping on foot. Rachel can't stop screaming, so Robbie tries his best to calm her down. Ray tells them everything he saw and theorizes that the lightning storm came to wake the machines up. Eventually they make it to Mary's neighborhood, which hasn't been attacked yet, and they decide to stay in her house for now. Robbie tries to call his grandparents' house, but the line is dead. The supplies Ray brought from home are just a bachelor's leftovers, so the only thing he can make are peanut butter sandwiches. However, Rachel has to remind him that she's allergic. Neither kid wants to eat and Ray throws the bread at the window in frustration. When night falls, he announces they'll sleep in the basement for safety. In the middle of the night, the family is woken up by branches shaking, flashes of light, and some growling noises coming from the window. Suddenly a screech echoes in the area and the whole house quivers as the lights get brighter. The noise becomes a high pitch, so Robbie drags his family into a sub-basement room right before debris comes flying through the window in flames. Ray manages to close the door before the fire reaches them, and now the trio is left in darkness. The next morning Ray comes out and finds the basement in ruins. When he goes upstairs, he discovers that most of the neighborhood has been destroyed by a plane crash. There's a news crew scavenging for food, so he asks for information. It turns out that these alien machines have appeared all over the world and are being piloted by the aliens that came down in the lightning storms. They are also equipped with impenetrable shields, meaning the military has been fighting a lost battle. At that moment they hear a noise, so the news crew immediately leaves. Ray gets his family and Robbie needs a moment to stare in shock at his destroyed home before joining the others in the car. When they reach the countryside, Ray explains they'll go to Boston to find Mary. Robbie keeps saying he wants to go back and fight the aliens, so he and his dad end up arguing. When Rachel says she needs to go to the bathroom, Ray stops the car so she can go in the woods. She approaches the river and is horrified to see hundreds of bodies floating. Ray notices this too and